I started to study English when I was only 7, which is pretty early actually. When I was in elementary school, suddenly I wanted to write a detective story about me and my best friend. And we went on this adventure on campus and trying to solve crimes. So that was like my first piece of fiction. I actually got a rejection letter from Carnegie Mellon School of Drama, and I was like, maybe there's nothing I can do here, but at least I should let the director of the program know that I really like the program, and maybe in the future I will apply again, something like that. And the director of the program wrote back. He said, "Oh, sorry, it was a mistake. The rejection letter was a mistake." And I was like, what? Guys, you almost gave me a heart attack. You can't do things like this. I learned so much during those 2 years. It was very challenging. Like, if you have any experience of writing your second language, you probably know what I'm talking about. Like, a very small things that's so easy for us to say in our mother tongue. I survived. I'm still alive. I found a teaching position at a university in Shenzhen, China. And one day I dug out this play I used for drama school application. I mean, it was a terrible draft about this thief, and I started on another draft, and that failed. And I put it aside, and then suddenly one day, I remember it was like during the Spring Festival of China, and I was having dinner with my family. Suddenly I had this idea. What if the main character is not a he? What if it's a she, a girl who doesn't really know what she's doing with her life? And on the other hand, her brother, he has a great job and he always knows what he's doing. And also, I was thinking, in China, parents always pay more attention to the boys' education than the girls. And I was like, oh my god, that's probably the story I was waiting for. This draft, it took me almost 2 years, but every time I work on it, I just feel so happy about it. Like every sentence I put down, I was like, oh, I like this. I know I'm making progress. Also, one very important element, I try to make it very clear that this story is set in Mongolia. I'm from there, and I actually know the culture and the people there. I want to talk about the dilemma Han people face in Mongolia. The identity of Han people structurally can also echo the dilemmas the main character has with her own identity. Han people in Mongolia, we speak Mandarin with a very interesting accent, and also their phrases and the words that only belong to our dialect. How do I incorporate the Mongolian culture in a story and still make it understandable to an English audience? I wrapped up the play last November, and I felt pretty good about this draft, and I started to send it out to theater companies, drama festivals in the United States and also in England. Then I realized it's been more difficult than before the pandemic. Drastic drop in a number of opportunities, and it's even more difficult for international playwrights. Development programs, theater companies, they say they want diversity, and sometimes I feel that people have very specific idea about the kind of diversity they want. I don't think your story is Mongolian enough. Actually, one of the rejection letters said that this is our imagination about your culture or about the difficulties you are supposed to have as a Han person in Mongolia, but you don't really address that in your story. This is very, very frustrating. So if you want to read my play, please just email me. I promise, I have some really good jokes in my play, and yeah, I think I'm a pretty funny person. Maybe you didn't get that from this interview, but I'm actually pretty funny. I don't know. That was a terrible pitch. I sound so desperate. In Mongolia, it's a really interesting place, and you guys should visit. It's a popular place for tourism. Interesting stories happen there all the time, and read my play. So if you read my play, I will be your tour guide when you come to Inner Mongolia. I'm a pretty funny person. Like, I make my students laugh every class by making sarcastic comments on their performances. but in general, I think I'm a pretty funny person, and I have jokes, yeah, some really, really good jokes. So please go read it.